Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Weekly Win. My name is Tim. I'm joined by my co host, Ken.
Hello, everyone.
And today we're going to talk about a topic: is freedom gone? You know, we hear everyone's fighting for freedom these days, the left, the right, the center. Vote for us and we'll give you freedom. But are any of them actually giving us any freedom? Ken, your thoughts?
Let me lead out. I know this isn't in our notes, but it just hit me as you were talking about fighting for freedom, specifically that. That reminds me of a very wise man, George Carlin, and he pointed out the difference in several fighters. Firefighters fight fires. Some other thing, I'm just going to go with crime fighters for the sake of it. Crime fighters fight crime. What do freedom fighters fight? Complete the analogy.
Yeah, they fight freedom, in theory.
Yep,
Or
they
by
fight
this
against
analogy.
freedom. So the way that I see it, the people who are bold and brash, and they have the I'm out
More
here
like
fighting for
belongs
freedom.
in the
I'm a
trash.
freedom fighter. It's just like, bro, what are you doing? You're definitely not a freedom. Well, you might be fighting against freedom, but you're not a fighter for freedom. That's for sure. Because if you were, you'd have a lot more things to do with your time than tell everybody about how great of a fighter for freedom you are.
Ken, aren't we great fighters for freedom?
We don't have time to talk about that right now.
Yeah,
We got to get to talking about how
we're
neither
busy
party has
doing.
fought for freedom or our rights.
Yeah, one
Mm.
and this is gonna anger everybody because YouTube is gonna hate us for saying that Democrats don't fight for freedom. BitChute's gonna hate us for saying Republicans don't fight for freedom. And honestly, I don't care. It's accurate. When's the like? When's the last time a politician truly fought for freedom? The
First
first,
term of Reagan.
yeah, I was gonna say like the first month of the Trump presidency, and that's about it. When he cut the size of the federal government, and then that was the first time since Reagan, and even then, Reagan passed some much more expanding on like gun laws and stuff. So he wasn't exactly the greatest president when it comes to those types of rights either.
Ooh, watch out, Tim. You're really going to anger the BitChute audience now.
Dude, I love me some Reagan policies in other ways, but like if I remember correctly, he's the one who signed into law the full auto weapons ban. So
He was one of those proto-globalists. He came from California.
yeah,
That should tell you everything you need to know, Republicans. Everything.
so yeah, to say that because I vote R or because I vote D, I'm voting for freedom. It's like no, that's not how this works. You actually have to put in some effort to make sure you're voting for good people, which unfortunately the system doesn't produce anymore.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. Guys actually sitting down, trying to hammer out deals instead of whining like petulant little babies because they don't get their way at every turn. Yeah, I'm talking about Donald Trump, but I'm also talking about the entirety of the Congress. Talking about all of them. They're all swamp creatures, if you ask me, because none of them care.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of sad that even the politicians who claim to fight for freedom, and I mean, DeSantis is fighting a good fight, but I
He's
wouldn't.
one man and he's in one
Yeah,
state.
I wouldn't say that. In my opinion, Florida's still not the best state in the union. I love
No,
DeSantis, and you guys can attack me all you want, but I don't think Florida's the greatest state in the union.
no. No, I
I'm
have
a,
my own biases.
I have my own too. I happen to think that Oklahoma is a really well-run state, and generally speaking, it tends towards freedom more often than not, which is better than most of the other states, especially the ones that we've lived in, New York,
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go back to Trump real quick. Just a quick second.
of course.
The easiest reason I can give people as to why I can rip on him for this is very simple. He could have pardoned the WikiLeaks guy, Julian Assange, as well as Edward Snowden, but he refused to. And yes, he refused to. He refused to do it for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
He had plenty of opportunities, a huge window to do it, but he chose not to. Just like the rest of them.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what they're fighting for. It matters about getting reelected.
Yep, getting all the money that they can possibly get their hands on.
And while Trump didn't take money per se from the presidency, he took power, he took the position. It,
Prestige for
yeah,
sure.
and I mean, he still uses it. He still has whatever his the newsletter he was shooting out there for like a little while at least that said it came from the desk of the 45th president of the United States. Like,
What a
yeah,
troll.
he's still gonna ride that for the rest of his life. It's like, yeah, granted, he is better than Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or Obama or Bush. Yes, any of them, but he's still at this point just a man looking for power and prestige. That's what he always was. But he was at least open and honest about it, which is why we liked him slightly more.
Yeah, I never got that. Democrats have literally the world's most powerful nation's intelligence agencies going after this guy, and they can't find a speck of dirt on him. Exonerated on pretty much everything. And I'm led to believe that somehow he's a dirty, crooked guy, somehow worse than Richard Nixon. I don't know about that one, but I definitely will say he did very, very little favors for us in the way of personal rights.
Yeah, there was all the time in the world where we could have passed anti. We could have removed gun laws. We could have helped abortion. We could have helped decriminalize marijuana. An actual freedom thing. Like, we could have done a lot of things with a full Republican House, Senate, and presidency, in the same way the Democrats could be doing now, in theory, but nothing was passed because at the end of the day, they don't want the freedom that you and me want. They want more votes for more time in office, for more money.
Yep, it always comes down to profit at the end of the day. Profit equals politics, to these people anyway, in their minds. I would like to say, though, that I think there's a few pockets of freedom that still exist here in the U.S.
Okay, well, I gave
Not,
mine of Oklahoma, but go on. I want to hear yours now.
yeah, it's not really so much the policies that are in place because I'm pretty ignorant to the policies, but it's rather the geographic limitations and what I
Okay.
think of that. Alaska, I think, is one of them. I think it's actually the last front of freedom. Governments, it's very hard to control people out in the middle of Alaska, in the middle of Canada and the Yukon territories. You can ask them; it's quite difficult. So, I mean, that would be one place that I would go if I ever thought that freedom was perhaps on the decline where I am now, which it is. That'd be a place that I'd look to go to. Somewhere in the Midwest as well, because there's plenty of, or
There's a
probably
lot
not
of
plenty, but
space.
there's plenty of space for you to get down there and build up a small ranch for yourself, become sort of self-sufficient, independent from the government.
Ain't that the dream?
Yeah, that's what I view freedom as, is just mere independence from the government and the autonomy to do whatever it is you please.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. And in general, I consider freedom to be you can do what you want so long as it doesn't impact the people next to you, essentially. Because once you're now impeding on other people's rights, then you have an issue. But yeah, other than that, do.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just don't interfere with anybody else's business, and just leave everybody alone. You should be fine. That's how we should mint the money. Instead of, well, not instead of, we should still have "In God We Trust" because I'm a Christian, but we should also put on there "Mind your own fucking business." How about that
Right
as a
across the
reminder to
top of the
everybody?
$100 bill.
Yeah,
I
mind your own fucking business. That's how you get paid.
if we ever had merch, just $100 bill with our faces on it and just says "Mind your fucking business."
Oh, who knows? Maybe we'll get big enough one day to do that.
Uh, well, on that
Yeah.
note, in the comments below, tell us your thoughts on freedom. Tell us why you hate me for not liking Reagan or Bush or whoever else I named off. Honestly, I kind of hated a lot of the presidents that we've had. So feel
Any of
free
those
to,
losers.
yeah, feel free to hate us for making fun of your favorite president. But until next time, hope you have a great day and God bless.